what's up YouTube? So, welcome to another episode of Solid Series Ford TLC if you have an F-150. So, some of the experts saw the last episode and they said, whoa, they didn't say anything because I didn't get any comments, but I said, whoa, it still doesn't sound 100%, and then a couple weeks later it died. As you can see, it's summer now. It's been quite a while, so let me show you what I did. If everything else fails after you've changed the the battery, the starter, your EC airflow valve sensor, and whatnot, you got an oil change, battery's charged, and you find a freaking bolts on your thing after you take it to the shop. Anyway, let me show you what we did, the big main problems. Now, if it's after everything's said and done and it just clicks after you try and start it, it might be your computer. Now, the computer is probably the single most easy thing in a truck you can change. Screw changing oil, screw changing your battery. It's the computer. Don't let the mechanics fool you. I was going to be charged $600 to have my computer bought and reprogrammed at the shop. Now, what you want to do is just go to Advanced Auto, cha-ching, and ask them for the computer, and they will reprogram it at the factory. Just make sure you know your VIN and how many miles you have. Then, you come over here, there's one frickin' bolt. One, right here. It's like you'll be able to just ratchet that out. You'll pull this thing off, and it'll slide in just like a battery to your freaking remote control or a magazine to your gun if you're a cool guy. Right here, this big old thing. Now, when I took mine off, I wish I took pictures and everything, but what happened is there were capacitors, and all three of the capacitors that burnt out. I replaced the capacitors myself. You can do that if you're a hardcore solderist and know something about electrics. I bought them for like 35 cents each. But it didn't work anyway because I had messed up on my solenoid. If you change your solenoid and it clicks, it doesn't turn over. It just clicks at you even when you bridge the gap over here. You have a, I don't know, anything metal, and you bridge these two bolts, you're gonna bypass the solenoid entirely. Now, if you can bypass this and it still doesn't work, you probably have these wired in wrong, like I did. And so then it burnt out the capacitors, and you gotta change them. After that, the truck started up and worked 110%. Just as that happened, the next thing, an exhaust blew a hole into it. Now I have an exhaust hole. So that'll be on the next episode. We're actually going to take the bed of the truck off and fix out the exhaust and fix the oil pan down here that's got a leak, and we're going to make sure we reseal the gas tank, because when the fuel pump goes and you get a little gas leak, either the line's broken, check your filter. I changed the filter. If it's not the filter, then and it's still leaking gas from the back, you probably have a bad seal or a hole. Don't work on anything else in your car that requires sparks or whatever until you fix that hole. Otherwise, it will all go to zip. Welcome. Now, some of you probably want evidence that this actually works. You want to see if it works? I don't even know if I want to show you. I'm embarrassed. Oh, we painted the tires too. Here's a recommendation if you decide to paint your tires. You get the acrylic paint, it looks cool, but make sure that you take it off and then you let it sit for 48 hours. Don't drive it for 48 hours. Don't even put it back on the truck or car for 48 hours, because this is what it'll look like. Coming in close here, you can kind of see the error of my ways. Right in here, it's starting to flake off a little bit. But while you're driving, no one will know. Okay, now that I've procrastinated long enough, I might have let the truck, all the glitches, get out of it. Like music. All I want. Thank you for joining me today. If you have any more questions, place them in the comments below.